Okay, I'll just do one more today. I'll try and finish this chapter. Okay. Mudkip, wake up! Everything is fine now! Chikorita shook violently Mudkip. He already ate the reviver seed, but he didn't woke up until Chikorita used Vine Whip and slapped him several times until he woke up. That's nice. Teamwork. Chris examined General L's unconscious body, laying on the ground. Lucario was near him if his enemy woke up and attacked Chris without guard. Rill. Okay, General L muttered. Rill? What does that mean? Chris asked to himself. Riley. Oh, okay, Riley. So it's not Rill, it's Ryle. Riley, help me. Riley? Riley, help me. Those things are taking my body. Mysteriously, a part of General L's body revealed. The purple light around it disappeared for a moment. At that was a blue tail, but quickly it was covered by the purple light again, and General L escaped using the shadow bugs who disappeared in the air along with him. Okay, what the fuck? Oh, I get it. It was the legendary rescue team leader Lucario. Ah, in disguise. Fucking crazy, man. Alright, who disappeared in the air along with him. Wasn't that a blue tail? Chris asked to Lucario. It was! Lucario reassured. I presume reassured. Just spelt wrong. You can spell unconscious, though. I don't know. But I remember that blue tail somewhere else before, and also, he said Riley, but I also remember that name somewhere before, too. Chris got in a thinking position. What the fuck is a thinking position? Is that like the statue of the guy with resting his head on his chin? On his fist? I don't know. Fucking resting his head on his chin. I'm a fucking idiot. No, I mean, when he's when he's got his hand in a fist and he's resting his head on it, looking thoughtful. The thinker, I think. I think. Not only that, when he fired that big beam, it was familiar to me, Lucario stated. Guys, come here! I found Alakazam! Chikorita called from afar. Alakazam and his team was in front of her, and they were getting up. Ugh, what happened to us? Alakazam said, rubbing his forehead. I don't know! You just appeared out of the ground with those purple things, Chikorita pointed out. Yes, I remember now. When we were almost going to reach the top, I couldn't see clearly when something got us from behind. The Primids took them prisoners then, Chris said. I knew the Primids were behind this all along, Alakazam said. What? How did you know about the Primids? We didn't told you anything about them yet, Chris exclaimed. Alakazam chuckled a little. I'm a psychic Pokemon, therefore I can read minds. Lucario chuckled a little too. What's so funny, Lucario? Chris asked. That was the same thing Mewtwo told us too, Lucario whispered, no H apparently, to Chris's ear. Look, Zapdos is getting up! Charizard shouted. I don't know. I can't remember the fucking voice I used for Charizard. The yellow bird Pokemon was awakening from his unconsciousness. Chikorita hid behind a rock with Mudkip, who woke up thanks to the Reviver Seed. Yes, you already fucking said that. And Chris hid behind Lucario. You are the ones who defeated those creatures? Zapdos asked with a echoing voice. Yes, Mudkip said, terrified. And those creatures are gone from my home now? Chris looked at the Primid radar, and it was in green. Yes, they're gone now. I want to thank all of you for your help, Zapdos said. Huh? Mudkip's rescue team said in unison. You want an explanation? Both rescue teams nodded their heads. All right then, listen well. One day, I was soaring the skies high above the clouds. When I was flying, I felt a disturbance in the land. When I descended, I saw big craters in forest, caves, and mountains. Those craters were not there before. I was sure that something was wrong to cause such incidents. Natural disasters, Alakazam pointed out. Zapdos nodded. That is correct. Many natural disasters had been occurred in every corner of the land, causing many Pokemon to go missing. That thing was enraging me deeply. Then my rage was blinding from the reality, and I started to act violently to all the Pokemon. That is why I kidnapped Shiftry. Tell us what happened after, Chris said. After I kidnapped Shiftry, I returned to this mountain to rest. But when I came here, purple monsters were invading my home, and I dropped Shiftry in some part of the mountain, and I quickly flew to the top to protect the mountain from them. When I finished with on the top, I hid in the clouds to wait for more of them. Zapdos looked at Mudkip's rescue team. That is when you four made it to the top and fought that monster. I'm very grateful of your actions. Oh, that was nothing, really, Chikorita said, obviously showing off. You can leave now the mountain. I will stop kidnapping Pokemon from now. Zapdos flew to the clouds again. I will wish you all good luck. Now that everything's settled, we should return to Pokemon Square now with Shiftry, Alakazam said. Everyone nodded in agreement. Pokemon Square, Mudkip's rescue team base. After returning to Pokemon Square, Shiftry gave thanks to Mudkip and his rescue team. He left, waving his hand. Alakazam also gave thanks to them, and he told something to Mudkip if he wanted to know about his meaning to be in this world without humans. What? He left too with Charizard and Tyranitar. Yeah, is this motivational speech that is important, but we also didn't need to hear, apparently. He left too with Charizard and Tyranitar. Well, I think we should leave too, Lucario, Chris said, looking at Lucario. How do you know? Do you know that you got rid of all the Primates? It might just be... There might be some more, Chris said, looking at Lucario. What? You're leaving now? Chikorita asked, astonished. Yes, we need to stop the Primates from invading the other worlds. I'm sorry to leave your team, Mudkip.
Nah, it's okay. You two were a lot of help to our team,
Mudkip said, and shook his head, smiling. We'll miss you too, Lucario, Chikorita said, blushing a little.
I will too,
Lucario said. Well, that sure went somewhere, that whole romance arc. Not that I'm complaining, it's just a little odd that you build that up and then not have anything become of it. I mean, even that shit with the fucking bird people last time, at least there was some kind of resolution to it. Oh, I almost forgot, Chris said. He whispered something to Lucario's ear, and he nodded. Then the two took their blue scarves from their necks and gave them to Mudkip. We almost took your scarves away from you, Chris said, rubbing his head. However, Mudkip gave them back to Chris.
Keep them, so you two,
Number 2,
can remember us,
he said, smiling. Really? Thanks, that is so kind of you, Chris said, smiling. Lucario, let's go now. And with that, Lucario left, with Chris walking away from the base. Mudkip and Chikorita were saying goodbye to them while a tear came from their eyes. Just then, Team Meanies... oh, I forgot about that. were walking to the left side of Lucario and Chris. They gulped in unison when Lucario was walking to their left. Just when they were about to pass Lucario... Grrr! Ah! They ran away at high speed to Pokemon Square. Chris made a confused face when he saw them running at such speed, terrified. Maybe it was because of Lucario. When the number 2, were out of Pokemon Square's sight, Chris took the Wiimote out of his backpack. Now, we need to return to Master Hand and the others.
Wait, I want to do something else before we go,
Lucario said. He kneeled to Chris. What is it?
Since this is probably the last time you're going to be a Riolu, well, I've been asking to myself.
Yes? Lucario looked away with his eyes closed.
Can I carry you a last time in my arm, please?
Oh, that's quite sweet, actually. In fairness. I can mock the story all I want, but, you know. It's yeah. That's a sweet moment.
Can I carry you a last time in my arm, please?
Just one arm, though. Just one arm. He doesn't want to overindulge himself. Chris just blinked at what Lucario did just asked to him. Something was telling him that Lucario somehow felt like a father when he was a Riolu. Chris thought about it for a moment. Then he smiled. Of course you can. Just when he opened his eyes, he was already wrapped up in Lucario's left arm. Oh, okay, he did actually only mean one arm. It wasn't just some weird misprint. He wanted to carry him in his arm. Singular. In Lucario's left arm. Oh, I didn't thought you would act so quickly, Chris said. He pointed the Wiimote and it fired a light, making a portal in the tip of it. Lucario smiled a little, and he walked towards the portal. Then the number two, vanished from the world along with the portal. Preview of the next chapter.
I'm Lucario.
I'm Mewtwo.
It's time to save the Star Fox team from the primates now, but now Roy, Mewtwo and Pichu are tagging along with us.
Heh, with my new attacks, this is going to be entertaining. Sorry, I was going to say interesting, but entertaining.
Are you showing off?
Maybe. Just a little.
Sure, next time, Corneria, the lack of enthusiasm of Fox.
These chapter titles just get weirder and weirder. Author's note, read and review, please. Well, I'll definitely do the former.